to secure 90 plus and all, but at least you need to get a certificate. But if you are getting 90 plus, or if you are going to be in the topper list, definitely you will be given some advantages. Okay. So from the IIT side, from the professor who is giving the lecture, may give internship later. Last time Mahadevan got selected. Okay. But in the final thing, they wanted only 4 people. Other 3 people are from seniors, final year, third year, like that. So they preferred higher semester people. But now you have come to second year, you have the opportunity. Okay, so if you secure very good marks, if you are going to be in the topper list, definitely on some of the other courses you will be given some advantages. Okay, fine. So we will move on to the subject. Course outcome of Unit 1. Anybody can tell me? Course outcome of Unit 1. We don't say it is for only Unit 1. CO1. CO1. Compare various software development life cycle models. Compare various software development life cycle models. Still we have not touched that topic. So we are going to start that only. So the topic what we are going to deal in this and the next class is completely connected with your CO1. Okay. So you should always see that the CO and then PO. Have you all by hearted all POs? PO1 to PO10 and PSO1 to no? You have to. Somehow you have to memorize that. Sometimes you have to recollect, and every time, every class when we are marking this, you have to check whether it has been mapped correctly. Okay? PO1 to PO10 definitely you have to memorize. Sorry, PO12 and then PSO1 and 2. You are having all that. Nobody has given you what is PO1, PO2, PO3 and all. Same. Fine. So this class we are going to see prescriptive process model. Prescriptive process model. So in the previous classes we just had a discussion about what is the process, what is the process flow models or process flow types, and then mainly the process framework activities. Everything goes along with process framework activities. There are 5 activities in process framework, starting with communication, culminating till deployment. That is from the communication to the deployment. We have 5 stages in the process. Just process. Okay. So process includes a set of activities, actions and task set. So like a keyword for Unit 1, you need to remember all these things. Activities, action, task set. And the framework activities, communication, planning, modeling, construction and deployment. Right? So first is communication. Before we could start any project, we need to have a communication with the stakeholders. Okay? And especially to the users who are going to use it. So the one who is developing the project has to have a communication to the people who are going to use the project. It may not be the direct communication. So in that team there will be a set of people who will be exclusively allotted for the communication. So like that communication has to be taken place. After that only the next phases or next activities and all we will proceed. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about prescriptive process model. Why it is called a prescriptive process model? There are set of activities and actions are prescribed to your software project development. Okay. But the functionalities will vary. Like same 5 things only. How we are going to use it? How we are going to use it? How the actions will vary? How the activities will vary? That is what we are going to see here on various topics or various models. Please take down prescriptive. They prescribe a set of process elements. They prescribe a tell me the absent is not. John Paul. Second. Kirtana.
Kritika, Archana,
Priyanka.
Priyadarshini,
No talking.
Archana, Kritika, Tia, Saranya, Abhitra, Anushya,
That's all, no?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. They prescribe a set of process elements. So which will be having all your framework activities. Framework activities, set of actions, and your task set. So it will again similar to your the first 5 model only, but on different name we are going to see. There it was named only for the process flow, how the activities will move on one after the other or parallelly, or it will be a cyclic fashion or feedback, or anywhere you can do iteration like that. So here we are going to see this is actually a standard process model. Very important, very basic process model is waterfall process model. Waterfall process model. Please remember all your 5 framework activities will come, but not directly. Okay? So where the project is going to be very simple and the users are going to be only few, there may be the direct names will be used, whereas in some other models and all the name will be changed. Okay? So in waterfall model, as I mentioned, all the 5 framework will come. Most please will come. I'll start from here. So all the framework or directly also like this you can put a line. Okay? So the first one will be, as you all know, it is communication. But here communication, what kind of communication will be taken place in this? So we will do for the project initiation. Project initiation, requirement gathering, so which means if you just connect with your design thinking, the first phase of the design thinking is what? Empathize. What do we do in empathize? So we will find out the need of the user, right? What they want, what do they require. The same thing only will be done in the communication phase of the software engineering process model. So here it is purely about the software. Okay, when we are doing any software engineering project, first step will be the communication, where the project initiation will be taken place, and here only the requirements will be gathered from everybody to whom I am developing the project, who has assigned me the project. Suppose if the project is done for an organization, okay, so organization is the one who is going to give me the conditions, constraints, requirements. So everything have to be gathered, and to whom, who is going to use the project. Though the organization is buying the project from me, and the students may use the project, faculties may use the project. Okay, so Even to them also, I have to communicate and gather the information. So that is what is your empathize of design thinking. Second phase or second activity is planning. Okay. So in other words, what we say in design thinking, ideation. Here it is ideation. So here, what are all the things we will do? Estimating, scheduling, and tracking. Estimating, scheduling and tracking will be planned over here. In the planning phase, what are all the things we'll do? Okay, so this project requires 1 year of time. This project can be divided into 5 modules or 5 phases. Each module can be given to 10 people and this module has to be completed within 2 months. Maybe the second module may require 1 month, third module may require 3 months, fourth module may require only some 15 days. It's like that we need to estimate the time, not only the time and even the budget. What are all the things we require for that, to do that project, like with respect to money, with respect to manpower, everything will be estimated in this stage. Then schedule, when, what we are going to do, that will be done in the planning. And then tracking. If the planning people or planning team only will be even make a schedule for tracking. Who is going to track, which duration they have to track it. Like I have assigned you one task, I will tell that after a month you need to submit it, right? If I don't track whether you are following that, whether you are doing that or not, you may forget that. After a month, only on the deadline, if I come and ask you, have you all completed? Definitely, it may not be possible. So I need to estimate, I need to schedule, and I need to even track, and that will be done by the planning phase or the activity. Kamaleshwar. So the next is what? Next activity, modeling. Next is modeling. So here, what are all the things we'll do? Analysis and design. Analysis and design. So here only our prototype. How we are going to design it. So we need to analyze the project or the module, whatever it may be, assigned to that particular team, or the entire team will be analyzing how it can be divided. So that is being done over here. How we are going to divide the project. Okay, so analysis of the project will be taken place during this phase, and then decide how are we going to design it. Okay, so which software I am going to use, how I am going, which database I am going to use, which interface I am going to use, which platform I am going to use. All those things will be decided and make a model, design, prototype. Okay, so this is same as your prototype phase of the design thinking. Next comes to construction. So here only we will be doing code and test. Okay, so we have planned, we have designed. This is how I am going to do it. This is what the database I am going to use. This is what the front-end tool I am going to use. Everything rough manner we have designed. Okay, so suppose you are asked to design a website. You are asked to design a website or web page or small application. You are going to design a small application. So first step, what do we do? So you draw everything, write whatever is required, and then plan. This is how my front page is going to look like, and this is how my database is going to look like. So these are all the fields are going to be in my database. So for that you make a framework, right? So all those things will be done in this phase, design. That you will implement over here. Implementation is nothing but coding, right? You write the code, only then that will be activated. You have just to have an imagination model or non-working model for which you are giving a life by giving a coding. So the coding may be done by any of the software language depending upon the requirement or the availability or the expertise. Okay, so coding will be done, and then test. Testing is very important for the software project. As and when the coding is done, you have to test it. Like you are writing a small C program for data structure, or it may be a C++ program. You write a program and you give an input and then check whether your program is working or not. That alone is not sufficient. Your program may work for one set of data, but you need to check the various set of data. Only then you can make sure that yes, your program is working fine for all the set of data. That is for a very small program. Similarly, for any project or you consider a single module, you need to test your module as and when you complete the coding. So coding and testing will be taken place in the construction. So we have completed everything. The final stage is going to be deployment. Okay, we need to release the project. So that will be the last stage is deployment. So here what are all the things we will do? I said it is deployment. So which means you have developed a product, you have made a project that needs to be delivered. So delivery support, I can say delivery support, and okay, you have delivered a project to someone to whom you have developed, you have given. After that, what do we do? Feedback. So feedback is very important. So you have released the product and you need to check with them how it works. Are you able to comfortably work with that, or are you finding any flaws in that? Do you have any inconvenience in using that particular project? So all those things you have to gather with them. So the project may be improvised or it may be fine with that itself. So that needs to be done after getting the feedback. Clear? So it looks like what? Last class we discussed the process flow model. The very first model is sorry? Iterative, first one. Linear process model. So linear process model is what? One after the other. Like first communication has to be completed. Only then you move on to planning. Only then you move on to next step. So this also looks like state. So you cannot go back as it is a waterfall model. So waterfall means water comes from top to bottom. Maybe in some movie water may go from bottom to top. That is not the real one. Okay. So waterfall means water falls from top to bottom. So in the same way, the topmost activities, communication, from there you have to go down with the deployment. Okay. So whether it is suitable for all kind of project? No, never. Whenever it is if the project is very simple and the number of users are going to be very simple, it is like there are no much constraints. Okay, only few are there. That also could be corrected after the feedback. For that kind of project, this waterfall process model will be suitable. Number one is we cannot go back. Once I decide communication, once I completed communication, I should move on to planning. I will be pushed to the next level only. I cannot go back to the communication. So this is possible when I know about the whole project. Okay, this is how I am going to execute. I have a proper plan in my hand. Only then I can proceed with this linear, because after moving on to modeling, suppose I want to make any changes in the planning, it is not possible with me. Am I right? Because it is a waterfall model, I cannot go back. Once I went down, I cannot go up. Okay? So when the project is very well defined, I know all the requirements. I know who is my customer, to whom I am going to develop the project, and I know the software, database, hardware, everything. Only then I can go with this. But this is very simple model. So for beginner, this waterfall model is very well suitable. And if the project is very simple, this is suitable. Cost wise also it will be less, because we don't make any other corrections. Okay, so this could be, suppose any modification needs to be done, with this set I cannot do. I will just keep it aside. Once again I will do it in the fresh manner only. Okay, that is called as waterfall process model. Clear this? So this is suitable for very simple project, and you must have a proper plan before you could start the project development. Only then we can go with this. So there are some advantages as well as disadvantages. Advantages cost-wise it is less. It is not very huge because I don't make any other corrections later. Once I do, finished. Okay, and it is very simple because I don't set any constraints over here. But obviously that itself will be the disadvantage, because when I want to make any change, when it is not possible, obviously I have to throw it away. You are having your mobile phone. Okay, so in the same mobile phone you have bought it some 30,000 rupees. You feel that some changes need to be done. Immediately is it possible to make a change on the mobile phone which you have bought it? No. Okay, if the manufacturers are receiving such feedback or complaints, they will make a modification on the next item which they are manufacturing or producing, not on the released one. So that is a waterfall model's drawback. Okay, we will move on to the next method. There is we can make slight modification on this, variation on this, which will give a model called V model. Why it is called V model? It will look like V. Okay, so a variation on the waterfall model will give us V model. So in the waterfall model, we had focusing only on the 5 activities. Now we are going to relate with the requirements, analysis, design, and those things and all. Who will be doing, when it will be done, how exactly the process will be taken place. With the help of V model, we are going to see. So the second model is called V model. V model is just a variation on the waterfall model only. Okay. Requirements, modeling, architecture, design, second is architecture design. Next will be same thing in different way. We are going to see all the 5 will be covered, but how we are processing the entire thing. After the architecture design, it is going to be component design. Component design. So after that only it is going to be code generation. Code generation. So code generation will be undergoing unit testing, because once we complete coding, we need to perform testing. So this unit testing could be done even on component design. Next will be integration testing. What do you mean by integration testing? Sorry? Quality testing. Quality testing, that we will see it in different aspects. Okay? So unit testing is done on a particular module. Unit by unit testing will be done. Module by module testing will be done. When there are some 5 modules, each module will be undergoing unit testing. Integration testing is you connect one module with other module. When you make a connection between 2 modules, when you integrate the 2 modules, and at that time whether the interface is working out, the connectivity is working out. So that will be tested by integration testing. So after you connect 2 modules taken place. And then we have system testing. What do you mean by system testing? I mentioned in the first class itself. Anybody remember? System testing is you keep, say it's stage by stage it is moving, right? A module is tested by unit testing. You have connected 2 modules or 3 modules which will be tested by integration testing. Like that you keep on add all modules. Once you complete adding all the modules, integrate all the modules, the project will become a complete project, right? Imagine there are 5 modules in your project. So first module you develop, tested. Second develop, tested. Third develop, tested. 4 and 5. So every time each module will be tested by unit testing. You connect and then test by integration testing. So now third is attached, fourth is attached, fifth is attached. Once you completed all the 5 modules and you completed all the integration testing, it becomes a complete system. It becomes a complete project. The whole project will have certain goal, right? This is what should be the input and this must be the output. Am I right? So the whole module will have certain goal. This kind of input only the particular system will accept it. See, again I will correlate with your C program itself. Okay. So you are newly writing a function. You are not aware of the concept of function. First you are going to start writing a code using function. You are supposed to use 5 functions in your program. 5 functions in your program. So what normally we do? We write one function, call the function and we check whether the function is getting executed properly. So once we are familiar with that, same we apply on all the functions. Okay, and then once you attach all the functions, you invoke a call to all the functions and then try, yes, my all functions are working. Sometimes what will happen, out of all the 5 functions, some 2 or 3 may give you a correct input or it may be called properly and you may return the values properly, but few functions may not work. So then you have to go to that particular function and make the correction. So once you complete everything, compile everything, you are integrating all the functions, finally you are executing your program and checking with all the 5 functions. Maybe you are using a switch case, case 1 is for first function, case 2 for second, case 3 for third, case like that you are doing. So initially what you can do, you can have only one option. Then you can include 2 cases, you can include 3 cases. Like that only you will be checking it. Okay. So but since it is a simple program, normally we don't do, we will just by heart and do. Correct? Are you by hearting and typing the program? No. Huh? I immediately expected a reply from you. You people are not by hearting and typing. Okay. You are really understanding and implementing the program. Only concept is dealt, you are implementing program. That is the right way. Otherwise what the people will do will by heart. So that is where it will go wrong. We will not be able to track where we have done the mistake and so many errors will be shown. We will be hang up there itself. Correct? No. When you see 40 or 50 errors on the screen, obviously you will be panic. That was the past case, but you people are good. You are implementing program on your own. Fine. So let us focus on this. As I mentioned, a variation on the waterfall model. So we don't completely change the waterfall model. We only look, with respect to technical point of view. Requirements, modeling. So you gather the requirement and then you do the modeling. That will be the first. And then architecture design. I need to make a block diagram. Suppose you are planning for constructing a building. So first you draw how the building will look like. But internal things and all we will not be able to mention at the beginning stage itself. So this many rooms are going to be. This is how the hall will look like, and here only the new kitchen, bedroom, all the rooms will be compartmentalized, and then you architecture first. Okay, for any project, first architecture design, then component design, which component you are going to use. If it is a chair, okay, I am going to use wood. project, which software I am going to use, whether I am going to use Java, C++, with respect to the requirement. Suppose if it is a game development, Unreal Engine and all, there we need to incorporate AR, VR, 3D, and we need to code it using C++. If you are going to develop a web page, that to dynamic web page, you have to go with the advanced Java features, like which component I am going to use, which database I am going to use. All those things have to be designed, and then code generation. So once everything are available, we generate code. After code, the executable software, it is in the form of executable software, it is in the running condition. So then I test using unit testing, integration, system testing, finally acceptance testing. It's working well, whether it is comfort or not. The comfort part will be checked in the acceptance testing. Okay. So your system is completely working, and then you are giving the outer part. Okay, outer part. Let us assume it is mouse. It is mouse. So internally everything is designed. So on the top cover, when we are putting, it is not comfortable. I am not able to hold it properly. I am not able to drag it properly. I am not able to press it properly. Then again, it cannot be accepted. So final, the finished product will be checked by the acceptance testing. Acceptance testing. So you are given your WhatsApp. They are asking you to install WhatsApp. You are installing it. Though you install it, even if you click that, you are not able to open it. That is working fine on their end. But when it comes to your device, you are not able to open. So that will be checked using acceptance testing. Clear? So we have discussed two process model. Yeah, we move on to the third model, which is called incremental process model. I will draw the diagram. Please tell me whether it is go along with the process flow model what we discussed in the last class. If so, which model it is? Atul, what do you want? Project, calendar, time. Right? I will have a schedule on which day, so on so date I have to release the first module. Then I have to release the second module. On this particular date I have to complete the entire project and release it. So it will be scheduled or through this thing only. A simple waterfall model is going to be used. Increment number 1. So this will be, you please write properly, communication, planning, modeling. Student full all the 5 only will be there. Don't worry. Construction, deployment. So here at this particular date, right? Delivery of first increment. Delivery of first increment. So the second is going to start exactly here. Same communication, planning, Deployment is completing. See here, the first increment completed over here. So delivery of increment is at this particular date or time or month, year, whatever it may be. And here delivery of increment 2 or second increment. Delivery of second increment. So where it started, increment 2 started over here. So it goes like that. I can have n increment number n. It starts over here. You just extend here. So delivery of nth increment will be at this. Please note down. Delivery of n increment. Delivery of n increment. Software functionality and features. Software functionality and feature. So when you look at the diagram, what do you understand? Tell me, what do you understand from this? Or why this particular model is required? See the diagram and tell me. Or it is, resembles as what we discussed in the last class. We discussed a set of process flows, right? Flow model. Waterfall, no. Waterfall is there, of course.
Iterative process.
Iterative, huh? Linear, parallel. The individual increment is waterfall model. Each individual increment is a waterfall model, right? As we mentioned, waterfall model is for the smaller project. Okay. So for one particular module or one particular phase, we will be using a waterfall model. Okay. At the same time, see when the first increment started, let us assume at time 1 communication of this is started. At 2 planning of increment 1 is started. At 3 modeling of increment 1 is started. It goes like that. Okay, like a graph only we have done. So at 4, 5, 6th month or 6th year, whatever it may be, 6th month, let us assume 6th month, first increment will be ready to deliver. It's like there is an order for soap manufacturing. They have ordered for 1,000. All 1,000 they will not be able to do at that time. So batch by batch only they are doing. Each batch they will be able to do only 100 soaps. Okay. So first batch they start. So they will release within some 6 months. Okay, 6 months or 6 days they will be able to release 100 soaps. 7th day or 8th day they will be able to release the second batch, because parallelly this communication people they completed, they hand over to planning. Immediately they will take charge of increment 2. The second batch of the soap communication will start. So this people will complete and hand over to modeling. By the time these people will be engaged with the increment 2, like that parallelly everybody will be busy. So suppose incrementally if you are doing first 6 days for 100, next 6 days for second 100, that is 200, next 6 days for 300, like that it goes on. But here since it is happening parallelly, what will happen? 6th day 100, 7th day 200, 8th day 300. So the order of 1,000 will be completed so soon, because parallel processing has taken place. Parallelly all the 5 activities of your process will be taken place. For that we use, or that is represented using incremental process model. So what are all the models we have discussed now? 3 models we discussed. First is a very basic simple beginner model, that is called waterfall model. It resembles our linear or sequential process flow model, because one after the other only it will happen. Once you complete one activity only you can move on to the next activity. There is no feedback over here. So you collect any feedback or you want to make any variation on the previous stage, after question. Okay, so when a person is not at all having a phone, he has no expectation. He only wants to make a call. Okay, so for him, if you just give a mobile phone with the features of you can make a call, he'll be very happy